Virgil just set me a whole different colorway. Please don't be stupid, it's baby and Gunna, and baby he wanted it, so I just swung her. Next time I'm in Dallas, I look for another local, never.
This is what we're waiting for. Test, 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 test. It's getting levels here, but I. Test, 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 test. No. Do we know if it's working there? That's getting levels, right?
Yeah.
All right. Test, test, test. No. Here we go. Phones. No, that's not it. Test, 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 test.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, do I should stop? So I hit start because, like, it said commentary. Because it says for commentary, click audio, click microphone icon. Oh, I was like trying not to look like the freshman running on campus. Is this supposed to be? Yeah. They were like, that's on. Yep. Oh. Which is no, like the clock. No, like oh, I wonder because of the delay, like we. Oh yeah, yeah. I texted you. Remember we like. What? Right, so you turned that off. I think we're just delayed, so. Thanks. Yeah. I was like,
So you think it's going out? I just can't hear it.
That's what we think. The thing is, like, it's a delay, so we can't tell.
For sure.
She's listening to it on the outside. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Check it. Huh? Yeah. I just got here. I called him.
They don't have no awards for that.
Is this mine, buddy? I think so.
With trophies, they know
That ain't me. Oh, do you want to inside? Do you want to get one started? Is there one upstairs here?
Another one. DJ Khaled. Just a million on my checklist 3 years ago. Zero to the one a minute. It's my life to what I want to be with this. You know the kick and roll. I got rich off from you know Chevy just.
Here, give it back to me.
We don't want to back the major for the city. It's a real life.
Test, test. Everything's turned up. Test, test, test.
I've also seen him before.
Test, test. There it is. Yeah, yeah. For me. Test, test, test. Hey, Rick.
Not bad.
Not bad. How you?
Oh, it works. So it's just all right. So we gotta take. Oh yeah. Okay, we had a moment, and now we're good. So does everything look good on here? Like we did the commentary. Yeah.
This looks fine.
Stadium.
Yeah.
I can hear it now, so that was the problem. It was getting levels, but I couldn't hear it. It should just be this guy, right? That's what we use for
That's this guy.
The second one?
Yeah, because you're hooked into two. Okay.
Oh, okay. And there's no stadium sound. All right, good. Stadium.
Yeah, everything looks good there. You don't even have to touch this because it's not the main. The main is here. Okay. The one thing that you might want to consider is the game.
Yep.
So the game is here.
Yep.
Right? But I mean, if you guys feel like you're good, then you're good.
All right. So
this all looks good. I mean, you just talked and we got that. Right?
We've got levels, yeah. So which one you want me to turn down if we want to go off? You're saying this one, not one of these?
No.
Two.
Jesse's sitting here. She's gonna be calm, so I can have her even do if needed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Got it. Cool. Do you have their roster?
I The coach's name is on there. The NCAA.
Come on down.
And I wrote the officials. It looked like he was one assistant, and then I have the officials name.
Okay, give me 1 second here. So the head coach is Kevin.
Yep.
He's related to what's his face?
Benedict.
Yeah, Benny.
Jesse, do you want to sit on here and then grab the stool to like lean your leg? Like, how do you want to? Or Matt, are you gonna sit?
I'm gonna stand.
All right, so then use his.
Yeah,
stool
that's fine.
Like,
I mean, before game time, anyways.
yeah,
I should be. I was out before that.
Alright, I'll be right back.
all right, well. So what I'm gonna need you to do is just like you're gonna hit start, and then you're just gonna keep track of the score. But is it changing by itself, or like whenever if anyone scores a goal, like you would just So you're just saying start and stop, and then you're just step going, and then
I'm writing off that.
yeah. So I took my. Sorry. Oh, you're good.
So you guys want me to reach over and get the clock, or
No,
you
she's
can
gonna
do it?
Yeah,
Okay,
just
all
because
right.
of like the spacing for you. I feel like
Do the little reach around.
We could do a little team.
All right, thank you. And you guys know for Wheaton, Lauren DeTulio? Do you know if that's right? I'll ask Wick when he comes back if you don't know.
Did she have a
DeTulio?
pronunciation?
No.
I think it's Tatulo.
DeTulio? All right, I'll make sure with him.
Lisa. Lisa. Lisa.
Test, test. Test, test. Test.
Campus of Wheaton College for today's NCAA Division III Women's Soccer Contest featuring the visiting Worcester State University Lancers and your Wheaton College Lions. Wheaton College, the NUMAC, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, derogatory comments, homophobic remarks, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from such competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Officials for today's contest are Jay Stevens, Taha Nasser, and Omar Chaglil. And now let's meet the starting lineups. First, for the visiting Worcester State Lancers. Our first-year defender from Middleborough, Massachusetts, number 6, Addison Enos. A senior defender from Marlborough, Massachusetts, number 7, Cami Arnold. A junior midfielder from Pepperell, Massachusetts, number 8, Riley Patnod. A senior defender from Holliston, Massachusetts, number 9, Kristen Bettelman. A senior midfielder from Douglas, Massachusetts, number 10, Haley Skaronsky. A sophomore forward from Pepperell, Massachusetts, number 12, Raylan Callahan. A senior midfielder from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 16, Haley Samara. A first-year midfielder from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts, number 17, Erin Condon. A senior defender from Dudley, Massachusetts, number 18, Allie Marrier. A sophomore midfielder from Bedford, Massachusetts, number 24, Michaela O'Brien. In net for the Lancers, a first year from Leominster, Massachusetts, number 1, Mallory Dupuis. The Lancers are coached by Kevin Cumberbatch, assisted by Chris Kerwin, Cassie Giardina, and Ashley Spellman. And now let's meet your Lions. Senior forward from Los Angeles, California, number 10, Sadie Rett. A sophomore midfielder from Gore, Maine, number 12, Kylie Sherry. A sophomore defender from Hanover, Massachusetts, number 15, Lauren DiTilio. A first-year defender from Holliston, Massachusetts, number 17, Mia Wolfgang. A junior midfielder from Lynn, Massachusetts, number 18, Gabby Diaz. A senior midfielder from Uncasville, Connecticut, number 19, Michaela McCracken. A sophomore defender from Gore, Maine, number 20, Katie Kutzer. A first-year midfielder from Ellington, Connecticut, number 24, Julia Sternak. A first-year midfielder from Somerset, New Jersey, number 28, Raquel Garces. A first-year forward from Oxford, Connecticut, number 30, Kate Wickenheiser. In net for the Lions, a junior from Austin, Texas, wearing number 00, Gabby Marcus. The Lions are coached by Lee Moyce, Chloe Rocco, assisted by Ash Hill. And now the performing of the national anthem to be sung by Wheaton College sophomore Emma Bradshaw.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rang out, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Emma Bradshaw.
That was only the fourth time. Almost got injured during the anthem.
That was a tough moment.
Good evening, everybody, from the campus of Wheaton College. Wheaton College women's soccer, their season opener. We're bringing it here to you on the new Max Sports Network, streaming live. Matt Kuchar with you for tonight's game, and we thank you for joining us. Wheaton facing off tonight against Worcester State University. Game one for both squads. Here's the starting lineup for Wheaton before we get started. Gabby Marcus will start in net. She's a junior. And the other starters for Wheaton, Sadie Recht will start. Kylie Sherry. Lauren DeTulio, correction on that. Mia Wolfgang, Gabby Diaz, Michaela McCracken, Katie Kutzer, Julia Sternat, Raquel Garces, Kate Wickenheiser. Starters for Wheaton. We're a little late getting started. Worcester State's bus was delayed, so we'll start about 20 minutes later than expected at 5 o'clock. No lights here, so they'll hope the daylight holds, but only the first day of September as we get started with a new school year, so that should be just fine for Wheaton and Worcester State tonight. As we mentioned, Wheaton's first game of the fall 22 season. Last season ended in the New Max semifinals for these Lions with a loss to Springfield, and the tough way to go out. It came in a shootout. Both teams were tied 1-1 through a couple of overtimes, and Wheaton had a 2-0 lead in that shootout. Springfield came back with 3 unanswered. Nevertheless, a positive season last year for these Wheaton Lions. They upset Emerson in the quarterfinals to get to the semifinals in the first place. Referee just about ready to start the clock. And we're underway with Worcester State taking possession of the ball first. For Worcester State, Riley Patnod had one of the first touches as that goes kicked out of bounds. Michaela McCracken will get it in for Wheaton. Over to Recht. Opposite side of us as Wheaton looks to get a shot down on Mallory Dupuis, the first-year goalkeeper for Worcester State. That one goes wide left of the net. Recht will hand it over to Kate Wickenheiser. Will kick it in, looks like, from the corner. Wickenheiser, first-year forward out of Oxford, Connecticut. She'll have the chance to set up Wheaton's attack. Wheaton not able to get anything going inside the box, but they'll hang on to possession here. Out in midfield, Lauren DiTilio. And Worcester State on defense clears it out, but Wheaton will get it back again at midfield with DiTilio. And there's a whistle. Julia Sternad went down. Looks like Wheaton will get the ball off that penalty. Katie Kutzer with it now, the sophomore defender. Nice play by one of the Worcester State defenders down there to attempt to clear it out. Worcester State actually having a hard time getting the ball onto the other side of the field thus far. Fighting for it there. Kylie Sherry for Wheaton. Worcester State will come away with possession. Yeah, Wolfgang with it now for the Lions. No whistle. And it's going Wheaton's way. Comes into Recht. Sternat back to Recht. Looking for Wickenheiser, streaking toward the net, but that one goes wide right. And Mallory Dupuis, the first-year goalkeeper for Worcester State, will get it back in. No foul there called as Sternat went down briefly. Referee shaking his head, saying nothing there. Wheaton with it now again. McCracken bringing it up the field. There's Recht fighting for it. McCracken. Had a brief interruption there by some stray music, but silence has returned. Ball on net. Wickenheiser had a shot there, but goes wide left of the net. Looked like went off her knee, back out of bounds. Wheaton with co-coaches this year as we start. Lee Moyce and Chloe Rocco doing the coaching for the Lions. Third year for Moyce here, second year for Rocco. As Worcester State will get possession of the ball back on the far sideline. Again, Worcester State has really not had much possession on their attacking side of the field, but it's changing right now. Shot on net. Capably handled by Gabby Marcus, the junior goalkeeper for Wheaton out of Austin, Texas. Marcus, a big part of that Wheaton run in last year's postseason. 6 saves, 2 in overtime in that semifinal appearance we told you about off the top. It was her first collegiate season last year. Played more minutes than any other goalie in the league. Wheaton trying to get it out of their zone now as Worcester State and Haley Skoronsky look to get another shot on Marcus in net. Nice play here by Kate Wickenheiser to get it back across midfield for Wheaton. Kicks it over back toward the net. Will be handled by Dupuis. for Worcester State. Big kick toward the midfield. As Wheaton and Worcester State fight for possession. Gabby Diaz has it, the junior midfielder right now for Wheaton. Gets it back toward Gabby Marcus. Marcus gets it to Lauren DeTulio. This one going Wheaton's way at about midfield on the far side. Gabby Diaz gets it up to Wickenheiser. And shot saved by Dupuis. We called that name out a lot already. Kate Wickenheiser, the first year forward. She's been involved with just about everything so far. Majoring in business and management here at Wheaton, taking a minor in psychology, is Wickenheiser. Worcester State on the attack now, thanks to Haley Samara, the midfielder. Looks like this will be a throw-in from the corner for Worcester State. It is. It goes into Kristen Bettelman. Off toward the net, but high for Worcester State. Raylan Callahan with it for Worcester State. Nice play by DeTilio for Wheaton. And now Wheaton with it back on Worcester State's side of the field, only ever so briefly. But it's kicked out of bounds by Worcester State, and Wheaton will have possession here at midfield. McCracken throwing it in from the far sideline. And Wheaton will set this play up with Gabby Marcus. Here's Recht with it, getting it across midfield for Wheaton. Chasing it is Kylie Sherry. She's got two defenders on her, trying to work around one of them. The kick goes out of bounds. Wheaton will maintain possession down in the corner. Throw in goes toward Recht. She's got a chance here. Nice play defensively, and now another chance for Wheaton in front. It was Wickenheiser. But a whistle here, and looks like Worcester State will have a throw in from the first year goalkeeper, Dupuis. Just over 37 minutes to play, I should say, here in the first. As Worcester State gets it across midfield. Well defended there, though, by Katie Kutzer for Wheaton. Here's Mia Wolfgang. Trying to get it up to Recht. Ends up finding Cammie Arnold for Worcester State there. Nice play defensively. That one's kicked out of bounds and is going Worcester State's way. And this one's now going Wheaton's way. Kicked out of bounds by Haley Samara for Worcester State. I'll tell you a little bit about how Wheaton stacks up in the new MAC this year, how the prognosticators see it in a moment. First, an attempt for Wickenheiser, getting it to her teammate Recht, but it's knocked away. Fighting for it now is Sherry. Diaz with it. Back to Wolfgang. Wolfgang advancing towards the net now. A couple of her teammates calling for it, tried to get it to McCracken. And McCracken has it now, fighting with a defender for it. Picked up by Garces. And just as she heads towards the net, the ball's kicked out of bounds. Referee ruling that it will be Worcester State possession here. The keeper, Dupuis, will kick it out. Try and get something started on the attack for Worcester State. Lee Moyce, one of the co-coaches for Wheaton, encouraging his team to play them tight down there, play Worcester State tight. Right now, Gabby Marcus has it, gets it across midfield, knocked down by Bettelman for Worcester State, and now headed back Marcus's way with under 35 minutes to go here in the first. Diaz with it now for Wheaton. Goes off her leg. And now advancing towards the net with it for Worcester State is Condon. Goes wide left. That opportunity getting a round of applause from the Worcester State sideline. They like what they saw there. Good reason why. All set up by Condon, the first-year midfielder out of East Bridgewater. Headed back toward Marcus, who handles it capably with the glove hand. MIT, as far as the new MAC goes, receiving the most first place votes as the potential top finisher this year. That's the coaches poll. Coaches get together and vote on that. As a nice play by Recht to shake a defender, and if only briefly, as Haley Skoronsky got it back. Here's Mia Wolfgang, the first-year defender, taking it across midfield, getting it over to her teammate, Julia Sternat, fellow first year. Back to Diaz now. And across to Kutzer. Moyce, Wheaton's coach here, encouraging his team to keep it moving. One's headed deep over Wickenheiser's head. DeTilio with it for Wheaton, getting it across midfield once again. The ball has really spent more time with Wheaton on the attack, no question. Worcester State did have a couple of good chances there. And to go back to that narrative, in terms of the new MAC preseason coaches poll, MIT got 10 of the 11 first place votes. They won the tournament championship last year in the new MAC. WPI got the other first place vote. And Wheaton, number 7 in the poll overall. That would be just outside the playoff picture. So they've got some motivation in that poll after making the semifinals last year to be ranked number 7. Wickenheiser's got a shot, 1-on-1, and it goes just right, just wide right. Good scoring chance there for Kate Wickenheiser, first year forward. But Worcester State will take it back. Wickenheiser, interesting story on her from her profile here at Wheaton that is up on the athletics website. All the players have a little bit of personal information up there. And she actually has her own Etsy shop, if you're familiar with Etsy, and made vaccine card holders. How about that? Might need to ask her for one of those. Don't know where mine is. All right, back with Wheaton on the attack. McCracken with it, trying to get it up. One of her teammates. And a whistle just about midfield. And the official indicating that possession will go to Worcester State. Toward the net, but no big chance on Marcus, who makes a diving stop before it headed out of bounds. Talked about Marcus, her save percentage, 4th best in the new MAC last year, 4 shutouts. Most matches of any goalie in the league, 18 starts in net. Ooh, Worcester State players got knocked down there. It'll be Worcester State's possession. It's Michaela O'Brien who got knocked down. Worcester State, coached by Kevin Cumberbatch. Under 30 minutes to play. No score on the board as Marcus handles this shot capably. Wheaton will have it here on the inbounding pass from Wolfgang. And it's headed out of bounds by Sternat. We'll go the other way. Here's wrecked for Wheaton. Getting it over to Kylie Sherry as Wheaton tries to get it back on the other side of the field. We told you it's been there most of this first half, but now Worcester State's got a little bit of momentum as down goes Raylan Callahan, the sophomore. The shot on net, nothing doing. Raylan Callahan went down just outside the box, no whistle, and she appears none the worse for it as she gets up and jogs it off for Worcester State. Abby Marcus clears it out of her way. Worcester State at midfield controlling possession here. Nice play by Diaz. Garces. There's a whistle. Going Wheaton's way, much to the chagrin of the Worcester State sideline. As Worcester State players went in there with what looked like a slide. The referee's ruling Wheaton would take over. And as they do, Kate Wickenheiser gets it up, looking for Sherry, but the ball goes right into the arms of Mallory Dupuis, the goalkeeper for Worcester State. And her teammate could not save it on the sideline, Samara. Wheaton back with it. Looking for Wrecked. She brings it back out toward the sideline. That is out of bounds, and Wheaton will maintain possession. Be Sherry to throw it in. Finds Wolfgang. Looking for Wickenheiser. If these first few minutes of the season have told us anything, it's that these Wheaton Lions want to get the ball to Kate Wickenheiser near the net. Again, a first year out of Oxford, Connecticut. As far as Wheaton's conference schedule, first conference game does not come until September 17th. That'll be at Babson on the road against the Beavers. The first home conference game doesn't come until a month from today. That'll be a Saturday, October 1st. Wheaton will host MIT right here on campus. Cuts are getting it up ahead for Wheaton. Ball's out of bounds and heading in Wheaton's direction. Looks like McCracken who will throw it in. There's Wickenheiser. On the move, gets it ahead to Recht. Recht with a shot, wide of the net. Probably 3 good scoring chances for Wheaton in the past 10 or so minutes, but all of them have gone wide of the net. They are getting some shots on Mallory Dupuis, first-year goalkeeper for Worcester State. And the experience with the goalkeepers, something to keep in mind, something that could come into play as we go on here. You got a first year in net for Worcester State. You got a capable junior with a good track record in net for the Wheaton Lions. If experience means anything, is Samara with a shot on Marcus, hits the post, wide right. Well, that was the best scoring chance we've seen today. Might have another one, but Marcus with a nice save. Callahan was bearing down on Gabby Marcus, but Marcus with the leap and the save to keep it a scoreless tie. About 23 minutes to play here in the first half. Wheaton looking to reset things offensively as they get it across midfield with Julia Sternat. A couple of defenders on her. It's taken away by Skoronsky. Physical battle at midfield. Kutzer gets it back for Wheaton. Not a bad turnout. Both of the bleachers filled on the opposite side of us. Pleasant night, 70 some degrees. Still some sun here. Good night for a soccer home opener. Worcester State gets it back across midfield toward Marcus. Kicked out of bounds, and the question is, who touched it last? The answer is Mia Wolfgang. Going to get a couple of substitutions here. Tori Cilio's coming in for Wheaton. And Amanda Castaldi is coming in as well for Wheaton. So 2 substitutions for Wheaton. That'll give Sherry a seat, give McCracken a seat. With 21:55 to play, no score on the board here in the first half. Wheaton's had a few chances toward the net, but the best chance for a goal was Worcester State's just moments ago. But a very nice save by Gabby Marcus, the junior goalkeeper for Wheaton. Doesn't look like she has any rust to shake off from the offseason after a nice playoff run for these Lions last season. More physical battle on the other side of the field. That's Castaldi just into the game. Gets it over to Sternat. And now over to Wolfgang. She puts one on toward the net. And a nice chance for Wickenheiser, but it's a save by Dupuis. Wickenheiser, after a nice pass from Wolfgang, got put right on net. And Wickenheiser had a shot there, saved by Dupuis. Probably the best scoring chance for Wheaton thus far as we remain scoreless. Ball kicked out of bounds. Worcester State will have it. Substitution in for them. That's Emma Gradericks from Wakefield, the first-year defender, checking in. There's the horn sounds. This one's headed on toward Marcus. Comes out of the net to get it. And sets up Castaldi, the first-year midfielder. Looking for Wolfgang, but the pass too high. Cilio gets her first touch just in the game. That's Tori Cilio, the junior defender. Recht fighting for it with one of the Worcester State players down there. Looks like Raylan Callahan. Ball hugging the sideline. Let's see. I think it went out off Wheaton. All right. Indeed, that is the case, says the referee as he's under questioning from the sideline. So Worcester State will have it here and throwing it in for them. Christian Bettelman, senior defender with some experience for Worcester State. Some physical play on the ball here as we've gone on in the first half. Kicked out by Wolfgang. Wheaton will set this up with Gabby Marcus. Trying to get it up to midfield. Skronsky a shot on net, but from a long distance and no problem for Marcus. Big right-footed kick from Marcus. Gets it across midfield to Castaldi, but it's kicked out of bounds. Worcester State will take it. Wickenheiser fighting for it on the sideline. Wheaton will have it. Shot on net, scores! Wheaton first on the board. Sadie Recht off a pass from Wickenheiser. Well, it's goal number 1 of the season for everybody. Goal number 1 for Wheaton, goal number 1 for Recht. The senior forward on the board. And the Lions on the board with about 17 minutes to play here in the first half. There's the official announcement comes here from the box. Exactly the start you want if you're the Wheaton Lions, if you're co-coaches Lee Moyce and Chloe Rocco. And for it to be a senior, all the better. Get some confidence under Recht's belt right away. Recht, senior forward out of Los Angeles, California. Business and management major here at Wheaton. And she does it all, a member of the NUMAC Academic All-Conference team just a year ago. Worcester State had that real nice chance, but nothing since, really. Nothing since that's really tested Marcus in net for Wheaton as these two teams fight for the ball around midfield. A lot of the play has been around midfield. A recent pass. Wickenheiser shot out of a cannon. Shot on net. Scores! Kate Wickenheiser took that one a long way. And her first collegiate goal puts Wheaton up 2-0.
The first collegiate goal of her Wheaton career.
Well, that's one way to get on the board. Boy, that was impressive. The defender couldn't keep up with Wickenheiser. Had some speed going up the field. And the left-footed shot right across the goalie Dupuis to give Wheaton the 2-0 advantage. One substitution for Wheaton. Allie Roach, first year checking in at midfield. Ball goes back into play with the Lions up 2-0 early. Well, that's got to be a good sign for the Wheaton sideline of a lot of great things to come for Kate Wickenheiser. Worcester State trying to get it upfield, feeling a little pressure now. They've let in 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. Nice play by DiTilio to keep it for Wheaton. I have more to say about Wickenheiser in a moment as the Wheaton fans looking on. There's somebody new to root for. Here she is with it again. Called her name out a lot. Aggressive play. Under 15 minutes now in the first half. Recht has it back for Wheaton. She goes down, no whistle. Certainly looked like there was some contact there, but nothing doing. Not a lot of whistles early. Castaldi. Wheaton will keep possession here as that ball goes out of bounds off Worcester State. Looking for Wickenheiser on the inbounding kick. Shot, score! Wow, Amanda Castaldi out of nowhere from outside the box. 3-0 Wheaton. First year midfielder out of Wallingford, Connecticut. We got 2 first goals of the college career in about 5 minutes here.
Wheaton College goal scored by number 22, Amanda Castaldi. This is her first Wheaton College goal.
Castaldi comes from a family of talented athletes. Her brother, Anthony, plays quarterback for the Mass Maritime football team. And she's on the board in her first collegiate game. 3-0 Wheaton. About 12 minutes to play here in the first half. And boy, out of nowhere, the scoring has commenced for Wheaton. 3 unanswered. And that one was out of nowhere, as we said, out of the box and went right across the first-year goalie for Worcester State, Dupuis. And you've got the experience in net that you want if you're Wheaton. Gabby Marcus back there with a 3-goal lead she's been staked to. And we talked about that game that Wheaton that saw Wheaton bow out of the playoffs last year. And in that game, both teams were tied 1-1 going into overtime. Chance here for Markman. We didn't even have a chance to introduce you to. She put it out in front for Mackenzie Paulo as Wheaton does a couple of substitutions here. That was a good chance. Nothing came of it there in front. Worcester State defended it well. Chance in front, but it's picked up by Dupuis. That was a chance for Gabby Diaz, the junior midfielder, who was creeping ever so closely toward net. But Mallory Dupuis came out of the net for Worcester State and took care of the save. Just over 11 minutes to play in the first half now. If you're just joining us, 3-0 Wheaton on the strength of a couple of goals from 2 players playing in their first collegiate game. Kate Wickenheiser is on the board. Amanda Castaldi is on the board, and the veteran, the senior Sadie Recht, is on the board. Those 3 goals for the Wheaton Lions. This is the first game of the season for the Lions. Their conference schedule does not start till September 17th, as we've mentioned, and the first home conference game not until October 1st. A lot of contact down near the net. No whistle. The ball stays ever so slightly in bounds, and the Wheaton defenders clear it out of the area near Gabby Marcus in their net. Worcester State back on the attack. Nice defensive play from Allie Roach to briefly break that up. And streaking toward the net, but no foul call as Michaela O'Brien tried to get in there on Gabby Marcus. Marcus looking for somewhere to go with under 10 minutes now to play in the first half. Gets it across midfield. Controlled by Paulo. Diaz with it. Had a shot on net moments ago. Had a nice chance in front. Back to Marcus. Tori Cilio with it. Told you she checked in. A couple of substitutes again ready to do the same for the Lions on the sideline here. It's up to Paulo. Over to Wolfgang. Wolfgang puts it toward the net. And the header from Markman had a shot, but a nice save by Dupuis. Julia Markman, the senior forward. And Julia Markman from Denmark. Only player on this Wheaton roster that comes from out of the States. Worcester State trying to get it back into their end, but struggling to do so right now. Wheaton has controlled the last 10-15 minutes of this game. 3 goals to show for it. And Kate Wickenheiser, as we mentioned, is certainly impressed in her first collegiate game. She's not out there right now, taking a breather. As Paulo has a chance, a shot on net saved by Dupuis. Kenzie Paulo, the junior midfielder, had a shot. Some more substitutions for the Lions. Julia Sternad checking back in. Checking out, check that. Checking out along with Katie Kutzer here. She's getting some pointers from the coach Lee Moyce. And of course, these non-conference games, a lot about seeing what you can do, finding the flaws, identifying them, getting them out of the system before the conference play starts. But not a lot of flaws thus far for Moyce and the co-coach Chloe Rocco to find with this Wheaton Lions performance, with just under 7 minutes now to go in the first half. Here's Detilio. We've called that name out a lot around midfield. We'll call it again as Detilio chases down the loose ball and gets it going the right way for the Lions. Gets it up to Markman. And now Paulo scrapping for it. It'll go Worcester State's way. A foul called there on Wheaton. Kevin Cumberbatch on the sideline for Worcester State. hoping his team can get a little something going here before the end of the first half. They had a couple of chances. Gabby Marcus, a very nice save earlier, but it's Wheaton who has 3 goals to show for it thus far. Worcester State's got possession. The ball goes out of bounds on the near sideline. This will be a throw in from the corner. Shot careens toward Marcus. Easy save for her. If you're just joining us, we talked about Gabby Marcus, now a junior in net for Wheaton. And a big part of the playoff run for these Lions last year that brought them to the semifinals in the New Mac. Upsetting Emerson in the quarterfinals and playing into a shootout with Springfield for dropping that semifinal game. Wolfgang trying to get it up and create a scoring chance again for Wheaton. It's taken away by Worcester State. Mirrione with it, but Marcus has it now for Wheaton. First game for the men's soccer team as well tonight here at Wheaton. That'll be kicking off around 7 o'clock. Marcus kicks this one out of bounds, so throw-in coming up for Worcester State. Still trying to get another chance. Really, they've only had one legit chance on Marcus. She made a very nice play. There's a shot, goes wide left of Marcus and of the net. Kristen Bettelman tried to put it on net, get something going for Worcester State. It's been all Lions in this first half. They have a 3-0 lead as we play on with less than 4 minutes to go. Nicely done by Natalie Coughlin there for Wheaton at midfield. It's Wolfgang now advancing it. Puts it across on net, but nothing doing. Pass looking for Allie Roach. Wheaton using a lot of different players in this first half. Of course, the first game of the season. Get some fresh legs in there. Keep rotating players. See what you got. Non-conference action. Par for the course. Markman gets it back to Coughlin. Ariana Anthony, sophomore, name we haven't called today, had a touch there at midfield for Wheaton. Gabby Marcus going to have to dive to make a stop as Haley Mirrione is trying to put one on net. She was defended well by Lauren DiTilio, sophomore midfielder, sophomore defender. Check that. Here's Paolo again. Worcester State gets it back, but only ever so briefly. Emma Koopman, the shot on Marcus, but not much of a challenge for her. Fields it on one bounce with about 2 minutes to go now. Just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. Wheaton a 3-0 lead. And they'd like to take that into the break, no doubt. Worcester State, of course, looking for any type of momentum headed into the break. They need it. Paulo chasing this one for Wheaton. Nice play by the Worcester State defender down there. Looks like Skoronsky was down there for Worcester State. Mentioned off the top, hasn't been all to plan for Worcester State. Their bus a little late in this game, starting 20 minutes late. Certainly makes a difference having to travel from Worcester down here to Norton, Massachusetts, the campus of Wheaton College. We're under 90, under a minute and a half then to play here in the first half. That one goes out of bounds. Worcester State will get possession back. Mirrione has it for Worcester State, gets it back to her teammate Bettelman. Under a minute to play in the first half. Pass across, picked off by Wheaton. And Castaldi with a nice play for the Lions, trying to get it back up the field. Worcester State pressing to try and get one more shot on net before the half. Haley Santos trying to get it to her teammate Mirrione. Well defended by Wheaton. Under 30 seconds in the first half now. Natalie Coughlin fighting for it with Bettelman. Ball at about midfield with 10 seconds to go.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And that'll run out the clock on the first half. So Wheaton with a 3-0 lead after one half of soccer in this 2022 fall season. First game of the season for these Lions and the start they wanted. 3 unanswered goals. Kate Wickenheiser, the first-year forward, her first goal of her collegiate career. And the other goals coming from Amanda Castaldi, another first-year midfielder, first goal of her collegiate career. And Sadie Recht, the veteran, the senior forward. She had the first goal to get the Lions on the board. So we're headed into half. We're streaming on the New Max Sports Network. 3-0 Wheaton Lions over the Worcester State University women's soccer team. And we'll be back with second half action, just about 15 minutes, here on the New Max Sports Network. Welcome back, streaming on the new Max Sports Network as we get underway with the second half of action. Wheaton College hosting Worcester State University in the women's soccer season opener. Wheaton with three goals in the first half as we now get underway in the second half. Clock rolling. Tell you more about that first half in a moment as Wheaton and Worcester State switch sides of the field. So from our perspective up here in the press box, the goaltender for Wheaton, the goalkeeper, is now Gabby Marcus on the right side. And on the far side left, the goaltender, Mallory Dupuis, the first-year goalkeeper for Worcester State, getting some experience under her belt. She's in net, and she's on our left. As for that first half, 3 goals for Wheaton. We talked about that. Kate Wickenheiser, really impressive first half, playing in her first collegiate game, first collegiate goal, and also playing in her first collegiate game with her first career goal. Amanda Castaldi, the first-year midfielder for Wheaton, and then the veteran getting on the board, Sadie Rex, senior forward out of Los Angeles, California. And that's where we stand. Wheaton with the 3-0 lead. Worcester State did have some shots on net, a couple of them. One was a real good chance for them, but a real nice save by Gabby Marcus. And we talked about the experience of Gabby Marcus coming in, really quarterbacked this team, if I may use the term, to the semifinals last year. In the New Max semifinals, Wheaton actually going into overtime and then going into shootouts. And that's where Springfield knocked them off. But impressive for Wheaton to get to where they got. They upset Emerson in the quarterfinals last year to get there. So the stage is set for the second half, and out there again is Kate Wickenheiser for Wheaton. She was making trouble all over the place in that first half. And I think the most impressive goal of the 3, if I may give that crown, goes to Wickenheiser. Got right around the defender in a one-on-one battle. And the left-footed shot right across into the net. Touched up by Michaela McCracken for Wheaton. Most of the starters back out there for the Lions as we start the second half. Pulling away with it now is Callahan for Worcester State. Kayla O'Brien fighting for it for Worcester State, fighting with Gabby Diaz, the Wheaton junior, who gets it away to McCracken. Expect to see some pressure from Worcester State in this half, down 3-0. Katie cuts her back in there, starter for Wheaton, the sophomore defender. Turn that over to Markman. Here's Garces trying to get it to Wickenheiser, but it's cut off by Kristen Bettelman from Worcester State, name we've called out quite a bit for them today. Here's Sternat. Over to McCracken. Goes off of Addison Enos, first-year defender out of Middleborough, Massachusetts for Worcester State. Going down for Wheaton was Titilio, and indication is that this will be Wheaton ball. Just about 5 minutes into the second half here. Wheaton with a 3-0 lead. No shots on net for either side. First couple of minutes of play here in the second half. And it was all Wheaton for much of that first half. Really, as I mentioned, only one shot that had a shot to fool Gabby Marcus, and she made a capable save in that one challenge. Worcester State would like to challenge her again here. And to Michaela O'Brien. And her pass attempt across to Callahan is scooped up by Marcus. in net for Wheaton. Make a correction there. Gonna make mea culpa from me. Wheaton's made a change in net. It's Felicia Fateau who's in net now for Wheaton. So Marcus, who started, has come out of the net. Fateau wearing the number 0, junior goalkeeper. Marcus wears the double zeros. So that's the dead giveaway there. So credit goes to Fateau for that stop moments ago. Here's O'Brien. Kayla O'Brien, a name we've called out a lot as well for Worcester State. Trying to get a shot on net there, but couldn't. And the aggressive play of Wickenheiser on display again at midfield. And she's taken down. That's going to be called for a foul. Whistled dead. Looks like she was pushed from behind. And you clearly get the sense here that whatever Wheaton does, however far they go this year, it's going to depend a lot on Kate Wickenheiser. She's looked very good. There's Tori Cilio, the junior defender, who gets it down toward the Worcester State net. Comes back out to Kutzer. Was trying to get it to Wickenheiser, but cut off by Worcester State's defense. Wheaton will keep the ball as it goes out of bounds. Wickenheiser has a shot. Takes it wide right. She was chased by Riley Patnod for Worcester State. And this is not the only action. Ball sports back in full effect here at Wheaton today. Women's soccer, field hockey, volleyball, men's soccer, all on tap. Men's soccer game gets underway just about 7 o'clock after this one. Chance in front for Julia Markman, saved by Dupuis. Wheaton will get it back as the ball goes off Callahan's leg and into the Wheaton bench area. Be thrown in by Kutzer, the sophomore defender. Trying to get it to Markman. And down goes Raylan Callahan for Worcester State. Referee indicating a foul on Wheaton, so it'll stay with Worcester State. And Addison Enos has it on defense for Worcester State. Nice play there by Gabby Diaz to get it out of harm's way, and Wheaton has it going the other way now. We mentioned just moments ago Felicia Fateau in net now for the Lions, replacing Gabby Marcus, who played a capable first half. Nice save on one of those Worcester State attempts. Did everything she needed to do to make it a 3-0 Wheaton lead heading into the second half. And the co-coaches this year, Lee Moyce and Chloe Rocco, obviously felt comfortable enough to go ahead and make the change, get Fateau some reps in there in the second half. Here's McCracken. Only one defender on her. Taking it in all the way toward the net. Trying to get it across to Wickenheiser, but it's kicked out of bounds wide left of the net. McCracken looking for Wickenheiser all the way there in front of the net. Made a pretty nice pass, but well defended by Worcester State. A corner kick here, Wickenheiser rather. And that goes wide of the net. Dupuis will inbound it for Worcester State. McCracken cuts that off. Now in a one-on-one battle. Sternat dribbling through a couple of defenders, but the 2-on-1 effective for Worcester State. Gabby Diaz with it and gets it out to Kutzer. Trying to get it inside there, inside the box for Markman. Nothing doing. And now Worcester State brings it up back towards the Wheaton net. That's Michaela O'Brien. Trying to get it over to Callahan. Callahan goes down, still trying to play the ball. Couldn't. Kicked out of bounds. And the possession flag says Wheaton ball. McCracken throwing it in for the Lions. Quickly gets it back. Working with Sternat to get it up the field. Almost looked like it went off the hand of Markman. Worcester State bench clamoring for the handball, but they don't get the call. They don't get the whistle here. As Callahan comes out of there with it. Quickly taken away by Garces. Two defenders on Callahan, who puts one toward the net. Fateau will pick it up. And first game of the season for these teams. If you're just joining us, weren't here for the first half, we can tell you that September 17th is the date to circle on your calendar if you're a Wheaton Lions fan. Here's a chance in front of the net for Wickenheiser, one-on-one. Nice stop by Dupuis. And another shot goes wide of the net. That one taken by Julia Markman. Wheaton's best chance of the second half here is we're about, give or take, 12 minutes into it. Anyways, September 17th, that's your first conference game. Wheaton at Babson. First new MAC conference action. And October 1st, 1 month from today, first home conference action for the Lions. And that first home conference game will come against MIT. And we mentioned as well the preseason coaches poll puts Wheaton just outside the playoff chase, so that ought to serve as some motivation in the early going. Right now, Wheaton fans have a lot to be excited about, especially these two first years. Kate Wickenheiser on the board with a goal, and Amanda Castaldi on the board with a goal. Here's Wickenheiser. Boy, she gets right past the defenders consistently. Now she's got a couple teaming up on her, and nice play actually there by Allie Marrier, the senior defender from Worcester State. Got right in there on Wickenheiser and was not going to allow her to get back in on the goaltender, Mallory Dupuis. This is going to set up a corner kick for Wheaton. Heading over there to take it is Katie Kutzer. Wheaton setting up its offense in front of the net. And Kutzer booms it in with her left foot. Ball still up in the air, still on the ground, and they get it out of harm's way to the Worcester State defenders. If only momentarily, as Kutzer comes back and gets it across to Julia Sternat. Her shot at the net, wide left. About 30 minutes to go here in regulation, here in the second half. Wheaton, a 3-0 lead still on Worcester State. And playing with some confidence, playing like they have a 3-0 lead here in this season opener. Here's Kutzer with it. We've called her name out a lot already in the second half. Been very involved in this Wheaton attack, setting things up. Here's Wickenheiser. It's cut off by Allie Marrier. Marrier's made a couple of nice plays in the last couple of minutes. Credit to her on the Worcester State side. Chance for Raylan Callahan. Well defended by Wheaton. Callahan's a name we've called a lot, sophomore forward for Worcester State. Nice job there by Mia Wolfgang, first-year defender for Wheaton, to cut that off. No real chances for Worcester State here, as that's going to be a handball. Off the elbow, it looked like, for Raylan Callahan. And check that, it looked like Michaela O'Brien actually called for the handball. Her and Callahan both in the area. For Wheaton, we mentioned Felicia Fateau is in net. Get it back to her, and she gets it back out to Katie Cuts. If you're just tuning in, you're wondering where's Gabby Marcus. She's played the first half in net for Wheaton. They got that 3-0 lead. They got Fateau rather in there now to finish it out. Here's Condon bringing it up for Worcester State. Gets it over to Samara. Her shot scores. Haley Samara, midfielder out of Worcester, Mass, puts Worcester State University on the board. Just under 29 minutes to play here in the second half. It is now 3-1 Wheaton.
Worcester State goal scored by number 16, Haley Samara, assisted by number 17, Erin Condon.
Erin Condon gets credit for the assist. The first year out of East Bridgewater gets her first collegiate score. Though Wheaton will try and reset things here, now having allowed its first goal of the season, first goal of this game. Still the 2-goal padding with the 3-1 lead and under 30 minutes to play in the game. Here's a chance in front for Callahan. Well defended. Defender for Wheaton comes up limping. Looks like that's Tori Cilio, who made a nice play. It'll be Wheaton's ball here on the near sideline. Thrown in by Michaela McCracken. A handball call against Wheaton will send it back in Worcester State's direction. That's an Enos. Big boot. Wheaton gets right back. Sternat. Kicked out of bounds. Worcester State ball. There's McCracken, a name we've called a lot in the second half. Getting it back for the Lions. No whistle as she's bumped off the ball by Condon. Chance for Callahan, but it's whistled dead. Callahan offside. Waiting to get the ball back. These Lions have a proud winning tradition they want to continue this year. They finished with a winning record last year for the 26th consecutive season, the longest streak of any school in this conference. They're on their way to starting a winning streak on this first day of the season. First day of the season, as we mentioned, for field hockey, soccer, men's and women's volleyball. A lot going on campus. Wickenheiser gave it a shot. Mallory Dupuis was quick to pick up the pass from her teammate before Wickenheiser created any more trouble for these Wheaton Lions. She already created some trouble in the first half with her first collegiate goal. Worcester State bringing it back up the field now. Kristen Bettleman over to Callahan. If you're a Worcester State fan, that one's kicked out of bounds. Worcester State fan, Callahan's a name we've called a lot. The sophomore forward, Raylan Callahan. She's played with an edge out there, just as Wickenheiser has for Wheaton. There's Wickenheiser as her defender goes down. And again, a lot of speed on the ball, trying to get past the defender. No whistle here. As Wickenheiser went down, as did the defender. Wolfgang gets it over to Markman. Now we've got a whistle. The whistle is heading in Worcester State's direction. Julia Markman getting the start for Wheaton in the second half out there. One of the players that did not start that is out there now, and we've called that name out a lot here in the second half. As pretty easy save for Dupuis there, as Wickenheiser bared down on her. Wickenheiser goes down again, playing the ball. Well, it's obvious in this second half that Worcester State is paying a lot of attention to Kate Wickenheiser. The first year got their attention in the first half. She's been defended tightly. She's got that speed, though. Has gotten around a couple of those defenders and created some chances for the Lions. Callahan wants this chance. Cut off by the goalie, Fateau. And Callahan is still down now. Gets back up limping, but appears none the worse for it. Fateau had to make the decision to come up and play that ball because Callahan was headed right for the net. It was a nice play by Fateau. Keeps it a 3-1 Wheaton lead. The speed of Wickenheiser. Shot. Score. Kate Wickenheiser blowing past defenders again. Second goal of her collegiate career is the second goal of the day. Wheaton's got the 3-goal lead back. It's 4-1.
Wheaton College goal, scored by number 30, Kate Wickenheiser. Her second goal of the season.
Well, you can't say enough about the performance that we've seen today from Kate Wickenheiser. Wheaton has something here in her, no doubt about it. And if you want to know about her speed, where that speed came from, she also ran track and field in high school. There you go. A track athlete and a soccer athlete. More on Wickenheiser in a moment because she is the story of this game, no doubt about it. Just onto the campus here, like we mentioned, first-year student, first-year forward. Business and management, her major here, psychology minor. And the Wickenheiser wants to pursue a career in sports, working for a company like Nike or Adidas. Well, if they're watching, she's making an impression in game one. We also mentioned she has her own Etsy store. And boy, the speed is noticeable. There's Wickenheiser defending Bettleman here. Wheaton back with the 3-goal lead. Just under 22 minutes to play here in the second half. First game of the season for both of these teams, non-conference action. We haven't seen anything too chippy. Some good defense on both sides. As these players try to knock the rust off and get ready for conference play. This one ahead toward Markman's direction, but defended by Kristen Bettleman for Worcester State. And as daylight turns to twilight, as we mentioned, pretty nice turnout. Both bleachers filled on the other side. Nice night, dipping just under 70 degrees, calm, cool, collected, not much wind. Pretty ideal conditions for a soccer opener. Checking into the game for Wheaton is Natalie Coughlin. Tried to get the pass in front to Wickenheiser for a chance there, but it's kicked back out of bounds. We'll stay with Wheaton. And that's kicked well out of bounds and headed for the woods. The capable event staff here at Wheaton will get a fresh soccer ball in there as Wheaton will keep possession. With just over 20 minutes to go in this one. Be a corner kick in from Katie Kutzer. A big left foot. Just a little too far for the Wheaton player stationed in front of the net. Out of bounds off Wolfgang, so it'll go in Worcester State's direction. Wickenheiser still out there, has played this entire second half so far for Wheaton. Felicia Pateau with it for the Lions. Has allowed one goal here in the second half in net. Subbing in for Gabby Marcus, who played the entire first half flawlessly. Coughlin getting it up to Wickenheiser. Pretty well defended by Worcester State there. Not much place for any of the Wheaton forwards to get in there on the attack. Coughlin again playing the ball. Gets it to McCracken. Nice play. Out of bounds off Worcester State. We're going to have a couple of substitutions. Checking back into the game, Sadie Recht, who had the first goal of this game for the Wheaton Lions, the senior forward. And alongside her, Mackenzie Paulo checking in. They'll give Wickenheiser a rest, and Julia Markman will get a rest. So a couple of changes for the Lions if you're keeping score at home. Haley Mignon chasing after that one for Worcester State. Comes back out to Coughlin. Really Patnod ahead and looking for Haley Santos, but a whistle there keeps the possession with Worcester State. With now under 18 minutes to play in this one, Wheaton still with a 3-goal lead. Came into this half up 3-0, and we've had 2 goals here in the second half. 4-1 now, Wheaton, as they look to get a first win under their belt. Worcester State putting this one on net and grabbing it out of the air on one bounce is Fateau. No chance for a goal-scoring opportunity for Worcester State there. Ariana Anthony getting it over to McCracken. McCracken back with it. Ahead for Paulo. And a collision. Cuts are involved with that. Foul is called against Worcester State. That's Haley Mignon guilty. So Wheaton will get the ball back. This one's inbounded by Worcester State. We mentioned that it's a big night of first games, season openers for Wheaton College, and we hear now next door the men's soccer announcements getting underway. The starting lineups being announced next door. This game again delayed about 20 minutes because of a delayed bus for Worcester State. They got here a little late. Of course, you need some time to warm up and get ready for action. So a slight delay to the season, but nonetheless, Wheaton has to be happy. The coaches, the co-coaches this year for Wheaton, Lee Moyce and Chloe Rocco, have to be happy with how this one's gone so far. With just about 15 minutes to play now in regulation and a commanding 3-goal lead over Worcester State. Cuts her back with it, gets it over to McCracken. Kicked out of bounds. Wheaton will keep it. We've mentioned Michaela McCracken's name quite a bit. Senior midfielder for Wheaton. Been involved on the ball quite a bit tonight. Elementary education and psych major here at Wheaton. There's McCracken again, getting it over to Paulo. Hasn't really been a good chance on goal in quite some time here for either side. Ball hanging around midfield. Mirrione trying to get a shot on Fateau. It'll roll Fateau's way. She handles it easily. Setting up her options. Boot it toward midfield and towards Mackenzie Paulo. Isabel Colombe, the first year defender, getting ready to check in. Isabel Colombe, check that. Get that right as she gets some action momentarily here. On the sideline right now for Worcester State is Raylan Callahan, who's been very involved, taking a breather. Here's Emma Koopman, the senior midfielder, trying to get a shot on net. Goes way wide left. Actually stays in bounds. There was a chance in front for Worcester State. And down goes McCracken. Foul called, and Wheaton will get possession. As we look at midfield, appears to be an injury on the Wheaton side. Clock stops at 12:23. That is Mia Wolfgang, it appears, who is slow to get up. Appear to be her left leg or some type of knee issue. She's pointing towards that left knee. And the concern right now for Wheaton is Wolfgang. Trainer's headed out. Let's get a long haul across the field to get over to Wolfgang, who's being attended to by her teammate, Lauren DiTilio right now. DiTilio playing with a brace of some sort on her left knee, so she knows how that feels for Wolfgang. Wolfgang, first-year defender, this being her first game, obviously, of her collegiate career. They have her up now, though. Good sign. She gets a round of applause from those in attendance as she slowly heads back over towards the Wheaton sideline. You can tell, still favoring that left leg. Not sure if it's the left or the right leg that was injured, but she's taking it slow, going back over towards the Wheaton sideline. Good to see her walking off, though, under her own power. So there will be a substitution on Wheaton's side. Amanda Castaldi will check back in. Castaldi had one of the Wheaton goals in the first half, and it's her first collegiate game. So Wheaton getting some of its first-year players out there, getting them involved in the action. And the clock starts back running up about 12:20 to go in this game in regulation. 4-1 Wheaton, if you're just joining us. On the strength of a couple of goals by Kate Wickenheiser, who has really starred in this one for the Lions. A sign of very good things to come this year for her and this team. Now a series of subs. Raylan Callahan checks back in for Worcester State, one of their top forwards. Skronsky engaged in a battle with Paulo for the ball there. It comes out Worcester State's way, and here is Callahan. Got about 4 defenders in front of her, and one of them was Tori Cilio. She made a capable stop there on Callahan. And Skronsky takes it towards the net, tries to get a shot off, goes well wide to the right and out of bounds. Skronsky, a name we've called quite a bit for Worcester State in this second half. Again, this is the season opener as we stream on the new Max Sports Network. 4-1 Wheaton. Ooh, Callahan almost had a chance, but nice job by Tori Cilio to get it out of there in front of the net. It really hasn't been one striking chance, except for that one goal that Worcester State had on Fateau here in the second half. One real good shot up against Marcus that they got in the first half as Kylie Sherry is in here trying to get the angle. It goes off the side of the net. Wheaton will keep it. Be a corner kick for Katie Gutzer. We've seen her boot a few of these with the left foot, trying to set up a scoring chance for Wheaton. They've got Amanda Castaldi right in front of the net. She already has 1 goal today, so look out for her. That's probably who Gutzer will be looking for. There's the left boot. And was looking indeed for Castaldi. The header high over the net, so Dupuis did not have to make a save, did not get challenged directly there. And Worcester State will have it here with under 10 minutes now to go in regulation. 4-1 Wheaton. Sherry with a nice defensive job here against Skronsky. Natalie Coughlin with it now for Wheaton. Saved by Kutzer. Coughlin dealing with Callahan. Nice job there by Isabel Colombe, the first-year defender, moments ago. First time we've seen her touch it up. And a whistle now as Callahan was covered by 3 defenders. Foul goes against Wheaton. Worcester State will look to set up a scoring chance with 8:20 to play. It'll be Skronsky setting this up for Worcester State. Shot on net. Saved by Fateau. That one right into her chest. The 2-handed save. Wheaton trying to hold on to a 3-goal lead with under 8 minutes to play now. Pretty nice padding for the coaches, Lee Moyce, Chloe Rocco. The co-coaches this year for Wheaton. Here's a shot for Wheaton, and Sadie wrecked. He already has 1 goal today. Got in front of the defender, puts one on net, just goes wide right. And this play whistled dead. Wheaton will get the ball back. This one out of bounds, heading back in Wheaton's direction. Anthony defending. Nice job defending there by Kutzer. And it gets back to Fateau. Again, aside from that 1 goal, Wheaton's defense has made it pretty easy on Fateau. They've done a nice job keeping those chances to the minimum in front of the net for Worcester State. And we mentioned Gabby Marcus, of course, the starter. Played the first half in net for Wheaton. Getting a breather now in this first game of the season. Physical battle, and the ball goes out of bounds. Indication is that Worcester State comes out on top of that physical battle. For Wheaton, it was Sadie Recht involved, and she can take a moment to collect herself after going down hard out of bounds. Callahan chasing for Worcester State. Kicked out of bounds by one of the Wheat defenders down there. Looks like that was Isabel Colombe. Worcester State putting it towards the net, getting compliments from the sideline. Good ball, but they're running out of time, quite frankly, as we tick under 5 minutes to go in regulation. Wheaton with a 3-goal lead. It'll be near impossible for Worcester State to make this up, as that's well defended by Coughlin for Wheaton. It's now headed back in the other direction. Up ahead to Coughlin. She has Paolo and gets it to her. Back to Coughlin. Wheaton tries to set up this offensive chance. Defended pretty aggressively there by Koopman. Check that pat nod. And Recht puts one on net, but it goes wide left. A little sense of urgency for Mallory Dupuis, the first-year goalkeeper, as Worcester State needs 3 goals in about 4 minutes. Wheaton just attempting to keep that scoreboard looking just like it is. Pick up a win in game 1 of the season. Up ahead to Sadie Recht, who was calling for it. Gets it over to Paolo, and a whistle now. Worcester State will get the ball back. Get possession here with Dupuis set to kick it in. Out of bounds and heading Wheaton's way. We mentioned a successful season for these Lions a year ago, as Recht takes it toward the net and is knocked down. Whistle, and the referee reaching into his pocket. Looks like he's going to issue a card. It's a yellow card with under 3 minutes to go after Recht was basically taken out down there. Couldn't tell exactly who got the yellow. But the indication by the official, a yellow card against Worcester State. Paulo puts it wide left of the defenders, goes back out of bounds. 2.5 minutes and ticking. Left here in the second half, left here in regulation. Wheaton a 3-goal lead, up 4-1 on Worcester State, and this the women's soccer season opener. Another whistle, and now it's getting a little chippy in these final minutes. We had the yellow card, and then Paulo went down there for Wheaton. And as an official, when you get a 3-goal game in the final minutes, you're just trying to get off the field without any major incidents. Another whistle here as Coughlin was defending Aaron Condon. Indication is that Worcester State will get it here. Looks like this is Michaela O'Brien who will set up this chance. She's getting some advice from the Worcester State sideline. Here's O'Brien. And Paulo gets it out of harm's way. And now really getting it out of harm's way is Castaldi, who gets it all the way over to the other side of the field. Here's Recht with it. Back in Worcester State's direction, Condon takes it up. With a minute now to play in regulation, 1 minute to play. And down goes Condon. Indication is that foul is on Wheaton. Again, O'Brien will set it up. Check that. Addison Enos will set things up here for Worcester State with 40 seconds to go in the game. Wheaton up 3, commanding 3-goal lead. Enos puts it on net, goes off the goalkeeper, and a whistle in the box now. The indication is that Wheaton will get possession. And they'll be able to just about run out the clock here, 24 seconds and counting on the first win of their 2022 fall campaign as Wheaton looks to extend its impressive streak. They finished with a winning record in 26 consecutive seasons.
10, 9, 8.
And as you hear the announcer
7,
bellow out,
6,
under 10
5,
seconds to play.
4, 3,
Callahan for Worcester
2,
State gets one
1,
last shot on
0.
net. Saved by Felicia Bateau. And with that, Wheaton picks up its first win of the season, a 4-1 victory over Worcester State. And in a game that Wheaton basically controlled the entire way. They went up 3-0 in the first half, added 1 goal here as insurance after Worcester State got one on the board in the second half. And certainly the story of the night, if you're a Wheaton College fan, Kate Wickenheiser, the first-year forward, puts in 2 goals and was just about 2 times faster than anybody on the field tonight. Speed and goal scoring. Both things you got tonight from Kate Wickenheiser. Looks like she's going to have a real good season for these Wheaton College Lions. And they have to be encouraged by what they saw in Game 1. As we mentioned, the first conference action not till September 17th on the road for Wheaton. But for now, Game 1, non-conference, pretty impressive win. 4-1, got to look at some of the first-year players and got to get impressed by some of the first-year players. We thank you for joining us as we stream live on the new Mag Sports Network. Matt Kuchar here with you. We'll see you next time for Wheaton College Soccer.